Good afternoon, and welcome to the DCTV News at Noon program.
This program is brought to you by the Southwest TV Translator Association and supported by the Dolores County Broadcasting Network on DCTV.
The News at Noon program is the best assembly of news and local weather for the Four Corners region. Give us your feedback and news alerts at 677-4119.
With all that said, I'm Kendra Cook, and my co-hosts are Kelsey Kiesling and Jerry Tope. And now for May 17th, 2016, here's the news. The Durango Herald reported Governor John Hickenlooper on Monday stopped at the Durango-La Plata County Airport to sign Senate Bill 16168 into law, allowing counties and municipalities to enter into authorities with jurisdictions in other states. Hickenlooper said in a news release, "We recognize the importance of strengthening the partnership between New Mexico and these communities. This type of collaboration supports area businesses, residents, and visitors alike." New Mexico allows jurisdictions to partner across state lines. The city of Durango and La Plata County jointly own and operate the Durango-La Plata County Airport, the fifth busiest airport in Colorado, with nearly 400,000 travelers flying in or out each year. It serves customers from an 8-county region. More than 24% of the passengers are from San Juan County, New Mexico. Commissioner Julie Westerndorf said in the press release, La Plata County requested this legislation to open the door for cooperation with our New Mexico neighbors for long-term sustainability of the Durango-La Plata County Airport. A common request we have heard from La Plata County residents is to make sure that users of the airport help pay for the airport. This bill will allow us to collaborate with our neighbors in New Mexico for funding opportunities to address our shared needs for the good, reliable air service so critical to our local economies. Durango Mayor Christina Rinderle said the airport is a regional economic driver. State Senator Ellen Roberts and State Representative J. Paul Brown carried the bill, which passed unanimously in the Senate and 63-1 in the House.
According to the Cortez Journal, a body was found in the car of a Durango woman who went missing Wednesday. Farmington police confirmed Monday. Last week, a missing persons report was filed for Louis Wisniewski Baumgartner, 55, who disappeared after an argument and was reportedly emotionally unstable, her daughter, Tori Wilson, said. Farmington Police spokeswoman Georgette Allen said a vehicle with plates that returned to Wisniewski Baumgartner's 1997 Subaru Outback was found around 11 p.m. Sunday at the Circle S gas station at 7101 East Main Street in Farmington. Allen said a female body was in the vehicle, but authorities have not confirmed the identification. Allen said an autopsy is pending and police do not suspect foul play.
From the Durango Herald, 3 minors were taken to Mercy Regional Medical Center on Sunday with serious or life-threatening injuries after a rollover on U.S. Highway 160 in which alcohol is a suspected factor. Colorado State Patrol Trooper Tim Sutherland said around 2:45 a.m. a 2004 Chevy Avalanche with Colorado plates was traveling east when it ran off the right side of the road at mile marker 99.4 west of Gem Village. A 17-year-old male was thrown from the vehicle and sustained life-threatening injuries. 2 girls, a 13-year-old and 14-year-old, remained in the vehicle and were taken to Mercy with serious injuries. Sutherland said none of the teenagers were wearing a seatbelt. It's becoming a more common theme with the no seatbelts, and it just goes to show how important it is to wear one. Speed was not a factor. Because the incident involved minors, Sutherland could not provide names or hometowns of any individuals involved. Sutherland said charges are pending, but because the crash involves minors and alcohol, it could take a few days before charges are filed.
According to the Cortez Journal, District Judge Jeffrey Wilson is having a tough time deciding whether to accept a plea agreement that would grant a probationary sentence to a Cortez man who stabbed another man with a knife Halloween night in Durango. The judge postponed making his decision Wednesday until having a chance to view video surveillance taken from the incident early November 1st at Durango Downtown Inn, 800 Camino del Rio. Jimmy Mahan, 38, pleaded guilty February 4th to felony menacing in a plea agreement with the 6th Judicial District Attorney's Office. According to terms of the plea agreement, Mahan would receive 2 years on probation and be given a deferred judgment, meaning it would be wiped from his criminal record if he successfully completes terms of his probation. The probation department expressed concern with the plea agreement, saying Mahan has a felony criminal history and is at high risk of recidivism. After listening to a psychotherapist who has been seeing Mahan since 2008, Judge Wilson said he has no intention of sending Mahan to prison. But he is debating whether Mahan should be on a low-level probation or an intense supervised probation such as Hilltop House, a community corrections program in Durango that allows offenders to live and work in the community.
From the Durango Herald, in the ongoing quest that is pursuing reimbursement from the Environmental Protection Agency for Gold King mine spill expenses, another $63,000 is coming to La Plata County. The funds are allocated to direct expenses related to the spill. The money comes just weeks after an EPA official informed local governmental agencies that reimbursement in full isn't feasible, leaving the county unpaid for almost $259,000 spent on personnel, travel, water monitoring, and other expenses. County Manager Joe Kirby said the money was the second award from the cooperation agreement the county signed with the EPA. Kerry said, "I was notified by email this morning, Monday, that they are continuing to review our other expenses. I spoke with Sean McGrath, EPA Region 8 Administrator, and he was cautiously optimistic they'll be willing to pay some expenses after October 31st, which is the line they originally drew in the sand." There was no word on whether the City of Durango or San Juan County and Silverton received any additional funds in this disbursement. Senators Michael Bennet and Cory Gardner both released statements Monday night mentioning only the La Plata County allocation. Kerry said they're evaluating this in phases. Sean said he should know more by the end of the week, but EPA timelines aren't always accurate, so I hope we'll know in the next few weeks. Stay tuned.
According to the Cortez Journal, Deb McVicker, who teaches media, computers, and math at MCHS, told Cortez City Council members Tuesday that providing a dorm option for 5 to 10% of the high school's 630 students would improve graduation rates. The dorm would be open to 25 to 30 students at MCHS from freshmen to seniors, McVicker said. In order to be given the privilege to live at the dorm, students would meet a rigorous guidelines and be very serious about graduating, she said. McVicker said the idea came to her after she housed a student in her home for 3 months last year. The student, a senior, would go home from school and her parents would have her work at the family business until 9 or 10 p.m. every night, McVicker said. The student would not have energy or time to complete homework after working, and she was in danger of not graduating. With the consent of her parents, McVicker invited the student into her home and put her on a strict schedule. She would get home from school, exercise, do chores, and finish homework, and be in bed by 9 p.m. every night. The student traveled to and from MCHS with McVicker. The student graduated from MCHS and is enrolled in a culinary arts school in Boulder. She's on track to graduate with a culinary arts degree in a few months.
Regional weather has reached the Nevada area on its way to Arizona by midday tomorrow. Then it will move eastward. Moisture and the disturbed areas around this system will bring showers and thunderstorms and milder temperatures through the middle of the week. The strongest of these storms will give heavy rain, small hail, and strong gusting winds. There will also be snows in the higher mountains during night hours. The best chances of snow accumulation are in southwest Colorado in the San Juan Mountains today and tonight. There is a second low pressure system centered in the east central Utah that's being dragged around to the northwest by the Nevada system, and that's what's siphoning moisture in our direction. NOAA Grand Junction believes there's still a half inch of moisture available in the clouds through some private weather sources, though, that yesterday we're betting on that, have reduced expectations today, and compared to yesterday to around 2/10 actually reaching the ground both today and tomorrow. The last moisture should be Thursday, as the current lows will be clear of us by Friday. This will give higher winds in the afternoons of Friday, Saturday, and Sunday as the next high pressure system battles its way into control of our region. the weather makes guinea pigs out of us all, right? We'll give strong to severe thunderstorms, particularly for Texas. Heavy rain will be possible across that region as well. This almost stationary system will cause excessive rainfall for large portions of Texas and Oklahoma today and tomorrow. Rain over the Ohio Valley will expand eastward to the mid-Atlantic today and move through the Great Lakes region and into the Mississippi Valley this evening. The southeast will see showers and thunderstorms through tomorrow, and there is potential for the eastern seaboard having a really wet weekend. In our 5-day forecast, tomorrow's high will climb to near 60, will climb almost 10 degrees for Thursday, and then up to the upper 70s for Friday and Saturday, and then Sunday we'll have lower 70s. Lows for the night will be in the upper 30s to mid 40s. Stormy conditions will prevail into Thursday night and part-time cloudiness into Sunday. For the late weekend and into the early next week, we will have to wait and hope as a system now off the northwest coast will make landfall sometime late in the week and has yet to clearly reveal its intentions. It's expected to be quite a strong system and expected to split into two parts and send those two lows dancing around each other. How they'll affect us here, it's too early to tell. So giving a sure forecast for the late weekend and early next week by our broadcast time tomorrow is not looking possible. Now back to the news.
The Montezuma-Cortez High School symphonic and jazz bands earned several awards in April and May, and the bands wrap up the year with the Senior Appreciation Concert on Thursday at 7 p.m. at the high school auditorium. On April 21st, the Symphonic Winds Band received a superior rating for their performance at the Colorado High School Activities Association Large Group Festival in Bayfield, Director Rodney Rithaler said. A day later, the group traveled to Grand Junction for the Colorado West Music Festival, where they earned another superior rating and the Outstanding Concert Band Award among groups in Class 3A. The jazz band also competed at the Colorado West Music Festival, earning a superior rating and the Class 3A Outstanding Jazz Band Award. On May 2nd, the jazz band played at the Colorado Mesa University Jazz Festival in Grand Junction, where they had a terrific performance and clinic, Rithaler said. Senior trumpet player Skylar Smith earned an Outstanding Soloist Award at the festival. On May 6th, the jazz band performed at the Skyline Jazz Festival in Longmont. The band earned another superior rating, and Smith earned another Outstanding Soloist Award. The jazz band will perform a number of Latin, swing, and funk tunes, including the Weather Report song Birdland.
From the Durango Herald, the mayor of a tiny Denver area town looks forward to filling potholes with pot revenue. The prospect of marijuana tax proceeds also has raised spirits in a Colorado mountain county facing the closure of a major mine. But across the state that has been a legal marijuana pioneer, small communities are finding cost as well. Staff can barely keep up with licensing applications and keep tabs on the new businesses. Jason Worf, head of the Southern Colorado Cannabis Council, an industry group, said marijuana can be revitalizing for small towns that most need an economic boost. He said it creates jobs that just aren't there or replaces jobs that are about to be lost. At a conference this week organized by the Denver Regional Council of Governments, Englewood Deputy City Clerk Stephanie Carlisle was among officials from around the state who shared marijuana experiences, some of them cautionary tales. Marijuana has definitely been a tap on our resources, Carlisle said in an interview on the sidelines of the conference. We're a smaller municipality. We have been stumbling through. Englewood, a 7-square-mile Denver bedroom community of 32,000 people, allows medical but bans recreational marijuana sales. Officials were surprised to read last year in a magazine that the city was hosting a private club where dues-paying members could consume recreational marijuana. Neighboring Denver had banned such clubs, but Englewood, which is almost entirely residential, hadn't yet turned its attention to that aspect of marijuana. Carlisle said the sight of people on the streets with huge bongs got officials' attentions, as did questions ranging from whether the pot club had adequate parking to the advisability of its staff consuming marijuana on the job. The Pot Club is still in business, but Englewood City Council is considering a ban on such enterprises. In Colorado's mountains, the one Clear Creek staffer charged with processing marijuana licenses, a paralegal in the county attorney's office, sometimes feels overwhelmed. The marijuana industry is licensed and regulated by the state, but local governments can require separate licenses and collect their own fees. A number of growers are in the county, even though its altitude and lack of water hadn't made it attractive to other kinds of agriculture. Some growers are trucking in water. Tim Mauk, one of 3 Clear Creek County commissioners, said the industry is small enough now that officials know all the players and feel they can manage oversight. Marijuana is growing just as Clear Creek has learned that Henderson Mine, for decades its main source of property tax revenue, will be closing in a few years. Back down I-70, Edgewater has 6 recreational shops that stay open until midnight, 5 hours later than Denver permits. Edgewater Mayor Christian Teagarden predicts the boom for his town of 5,000 people will slow as other municipalities embrace marijuana, but he doesn't expect that to happen before he repaves all Edgewater streets with pot tax proceeds.
According to the Cortez Journal, Mancos State Park Director Scott Elder expects another busy summer at the park, which surrounds the 217-acre Jackson Gulch Reservoir north of Mancos. Visitation at the park has been up over the past few years, and Elder said he expects that to continue in 2016. The park had a 20% increase in visitors in 2015 compared with 2014, he said. The park experienced a busier than normal April this year, and many people have made camping reservations this year. 2 yurts at the park are popular camping alternatives for tents or RVs. The park summer season begins May 23rd, the week before Memorial Day. During that week, park staff will start manning the entrance station. The park's summer programming calendar offers a wide variety of events, including nature walks and music events, he said. An evening program will be held every Friday at 7 p.m. in the park amphitheater. A park naturalist will lead butterfly walks every Saturday at 10 a.m. and 1 p.m. At 4 p.m. on Saturdays, children and adults are invited to play games about the wildlife and habitat of the park. At 10 a.m., Nature Walk will take place on Sundays. Midweek programs usually take place too. Special events include a night of cowboy songs with Dove Creek singer and songwriter Tim Krebs, which will take place July 11th at 7 p.m. On July 25th at 7 p.m., cowboy poet Slim McWilliams will visit the park.
From KOAA and GatewayCanyons.com. Down the windy mountain roads of Gateway, Colorado, you'll find the newly refurbished and newly renamed Palisade Ranch. It's part of the Gateway Canyon Resorts, the brainchild of Discovery Channel founder John Hendricks. The idea is to blend a world-class resort with the heart of the American West. Ross Bronson, who manages the ranch, said, "We want them to feel like they walked into a movie set and are one of the actors. We do everything from small pony rides to scenic trail rides to half-day rides and all-day rides. Not only do they get riding experience, but they are also out with the cows. And for most people, just being in the same pasture with the cows, they are in hog heaven." Spanning more than 500 acres with a generous network of well-marked Colorado horseback riding trails that climb over 1,500 feet in elevation, the facility provides spectacular access to the area's riches. Guests will be able to saddle up and become a wrangler for a day. Ranch hands will give you a riding demo and take you around the pasture to make sure you can steer the horse, and then they take you out to help move the cattle. Along with the cowboy experience, guests can also go on daily rides at the base of Uncompahgre Plateau, taking roping lessons and learn more about the ranching lifestyle with ranching education. Nightly rates start over $600, and for the ranch experience, there's a 3-night minimum with packages to provide you with a fully encompassing vacation. We've got a little bit of everything. If it's cowboy, we try and have it, said Bronson. And when all is said and done, you can relax under the stars by the fireside.
And now the Dolores County Sheriff's Roundup for the week of May 9th through May 15th. A resident reported speeding work vehicles on County Road 12. A town resident concerned for the safety of the riders reported juveniles on motorbikes on the roads in town. Dispatch referred a car versus deer motor motor vehicle accident to Colorado State Patrol. That's it for today's roundup. Stay tuned this week for more updates.
And for today's High Country happenings, all of June and July, mark down on your calendar the Montezuma School to Farm Project Community Volunteer Days. On Tuesdays, it's at Dolores School and Mesa Elementary School. Wednesdays at Mancos School and Kemper Elementary School. And Thursdays at Cortez Middle School. Each of those days from 9 to 11 a.m., enjoy time outside with the whole family, learn basic gardening techniques, take home delicious produce, and there are activities for all ages. For more information, contact mstfpdirector@gmail.com. Wednesday, May 25th will be the Southwest Open School 2016 graduation ceremony at 6:30 p.m. in Cortez. The public is invited. And the GOAL, or Goal Academy in Cortez, is a free public, fully accredited online blended learning high school serving students aged 14 to 21. They're enrolling students for the 2016-2017 school year. For more details, go online to goalac.org or call Liz Starks at 970-213-0923. May 21st, this Saturday, is the 6th Annual Dairy Goat Information Day, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at 2198 County Road P in Cortez. See animals and get advice and demonstrations on care and maintenance. Multiple breeds are represented and some are for sale. Equipment is available for sale. Details, call Jeanette at 565-9065 and leave a message. And for my end note, what is up with cannibalism? The Hollywood Reporter wrote this year that the subject of cannibalism has proved irresistible for directors at the Cannes Film Festival. No fewer than 5 films screening at the festival feature cannibal themes, including Nicholas Winding Refn's The Neon Demon and Bruno Dumont's Slack Bay, which both are in competition. There's also Julia Ducournau's Raw playing in Critics Week and Sang-Ho Yeon's Train to Busan in the midnight section. With Disney's The BFG, Steven Spielberg didn't go nearly as far as Roald Dahl's classic book, which has the giants eating kids. Still, there was one scene, a dream sequence, in which Sophie is swallowed whole by a flesh lump eater. The rest of the flesh eating in the film, which screened out of competition, is implied. The film, a mix of live actors and CG work, opens this summer in the U.S. But why are so many filmmakers sinking their teeth into the cannibalism concept this year? 3B Productions' Jean Brehat, who produced Slack Bay, says cannibalism reflects the reality of the widening gap between the haves and have-nots, thanks to hyper-capitalism and a culture of consumption. Cannes is prime example of over-the-top luxury and in-your-face overindulgences. However, could it be that there is more and more research coming to light regarding Genesis 6, the Nephilim, the actual giants of the Bible, and giants written about in additional ancient texts? Are the legends and fairy tales the truth? Archaeological discoveries of actual skeletal remains of skulls reaching 6 feet tall are difficult to pursue. What about the mounds, those burial hills in Sardinia and right here in the U.S. that were said to have giant-sized humanoid types of bones from first-hand testimonies? The ugly, scary notion of cannibalism is actually documented right here in Dolores regarding an archaeosite discovery wherein the human remains reflected that they were consumed over the course of time and not by predatory animals. Of course, while we're on the subject, one could look to the case of the failing state of Venezuela, where, as the Common Sense Show site states, Venezuelans are in search of anything they can eat. Despite having one of the world's richest oil reserves, dogs, cats, and pigeons are in danger. A food shortage can happen in the blink of an eye, as the potential for the distribution system to fail would escalate hunger rapidly. We'll be talking about this type of scenario following the news for Talk Tuesday. Let's just hope that as ranchers and farmers in this area, we can steer clear of figuratively and literally eating each other in times of crisis.
Again, thanks for tuning in. This program is aired live at noon and rebroadcast at 2:30 and 8 p.m. on Channel 32.1 Dolores County, on Channel 30.4 in Montezuma County, and their cable Channel 5.
And you can also rewatch the broadcasts on YouTube. Search DCTV News at noon, and please like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. And right after the news today is the Talk Tuesday. The topic is preparedness for non-natural disaster crisis. Please call in and tune in to have your voice heard.
For Kendra Cook, Jerry Tope, and all those who are working to bring you DCTV and the News at Noon program from Dove Creek, USA, I'm Kelsey Kiesling. See you next time.